Welcome to this unboxing video for AWS Snowball Edge. In this video we will receive, open, power on, unlock, and attach the device to our local network. We've received our Snowball Edge device, and you can see the panels are closed. On the top you notice the panel has a UPS shipping label. We'll begin by opening the front panel. You do this by depressing the button, lifting the latch, and then lifting the slab and sliding it into the case. The top panel opens in a similar manner, pressing the button, sliding the latch, and lifting, and in here we have a power cable. In our case, we don't need it, so we'll just leave it closed. On the back of the device, we have our third panel, which opens by again pressing the button, lifting the latch, and sliding the panel into the case. Now on the back of the unit, you'll notice a number of ports. The first of these is the 110/220 auto sensing power port. The next, there are two RJ45 Ethernet ports supporting 1 and 10 gig Ethernet. Then an SFP Plus port that takes 10 or 25 gig Ethernet, and a QSFP port. Depending on the particular model, the QSFP port can be either 40 gigabit or 100 gigabit. We recommend the use of 40 gigabit QSFP Plus connectors, as these will work in 40 gigabit and most 100 gigabit switches without issue. Additionally, we don't maintain a compatibility list for QSFP and SFP connectors, as pretty much any will work in these devices. Next, we'll connect the device to both network and power. We'll begin by plugging in the SFP Plus port with a DAC cable to a 10 gigabit switch. Next, we'll plug up the power cable. Now we will pause the video as the fans spin up quite loudly for a time while the unit powers on, and then they will cycle down. On initial boot, the device displays information about the device in a graphical format on the screen. You can click skip in the upper right so that you can tell that the device is ready when it changes from this to an information screen. You can see that our screen has now changed to an information screen. The first thing we need to do is set up the network. So we will click the connection button. Here you can see each port type, the RJ45, the SFP Plus, and the QSFP port configurations. They're all DHCP by default. So we will click our port, the SFP Plus, and set it to static and enter the IP, which I have already done to speed the process. After that, you click apply, and the network settings are applied to the configuration. The next thing we'll do is we'll click Edge to go back to the device status, and we can see the device is locked. So our next step is to unlock the device using either AWS Ops Hub, the graphical user interface, or the AWS Snowball Edge CLI. In this case, we will use the AWS Snowball Edge CLI. We begin by going to the AWS website, where we'll go to Products, Storage, AWS Snow Family. This takes you to the landing page for the Snow Family, where we click AWS Snowball, and then Resources. On the Resources page, there are many useful pieces of content. We will highlight a few of those and make specific callouts. At the top, we have What's New, followed by links to software. AWS Ops Hub is the graphical user interface that can be used to unlock the device. You can see it's available for Windows, Mac, and Linux. Below that is a link to the Snowball Edge client, or Snowball Edge CLI. This is the text user interface that we will use to unlock the device. Below that is featured content. I'd like to point out specifically the AWS Snowball Edge Data Migration Guide. This guide contains step-by-step instructions for selecting the device, unlocking, obtaining keys for the S3 interface, and copying data to the device. This document will be referred to in depth later in this video. Below the guide, there is still a significant amount of information, including links to the documentation, webinars, videos, free training, and blogs. I want to draw your attention to the best practices for accelerating data migrations using AWS Snowball Edge. This blog contains a lot of useful information for accelerating and improving performance of transfers. To begin the process of unlocking the Snowball Edge device, we need a couple pieces of information. For this information, we will go to the AWS console where you ordered the device. So we'll go here, and you can see we have the Snow family that we'll go ahead and click on, and our region in the Ohio US East 2 region. So let's click on AWS Snow family, and this will take us to a list of our jobs. Here we'll click on the particular job that we're working on, and we'll see lots of information. The things that we're concerned about are at the bottom of the page. The unlocking your Snowball device under credentials will need both the manifest file and the unlock code. So I've already downloaded the manifest file onto my system, and we'll click the copy to copy the unlock code, which we'll then use in the command line. But before we use the command line, I want to go back to that data migration guide, as that is a step-by-step process that I want to show you how to use effectively. So in the migration guide, we'll scroll through the content, and you can see the table of contents. It covers everything from selecting the device, preparing your client workstation, physical install, but we are here to unlock the Snowball Edge device. So we'll click that topic. You can see the first thing we need to do in the gray box is to issue the Snowball Edge configure command. This will get us a profile that we'll use with the command line. So Snowball Edge configure _profile and then a profile name, SBE1. First thing it's going to do is prompt us for the manifest file that we downloaded. So we will type in the path to that file. And then it's asking for the unlock code. So we'll paste that in. And the endpoint is the HTTPS URL of the IP of the device. In this case, 192.168.50.51. And we now have a profile for this device. The next thing we'll do is issue a ping command to ensure that we are able to ping the device. And here you can see we are getting successful pings. So the next thing we'll do is we'll scroll on down in the document, and we'll actually perform the unlock device command. It's similar, Snowball Edge command line, where it's Snowball Edge unlock dash device. You can see this on the left, _profile SBE1, and hit return. This will take a little while to come back. And here it is. During this time, the fans are going to probably cycle up some as it takes some compute power to decrypt the device. If you want to check the status and aren't local to it, you can use the describe device command, which will check the current status. You can see we've returned a state of unlocking. And we wait a few minutes, and we'll issue the command again. This time you can see much different information returned, and if you look at the state, it says unlocked. Now from here, our next step is to obtain the S3 keys that are needed to use to copy data to the device. So we'll scroll down in the document, because once again, it gives us the exact steps required to perform this operation. You can see right here, obtaining Snowball Edge access keys. We copy this command, the Snowball Edge list access keys with the profile. And it returns the access key ID. So we'll copy everything between the quotes into our buffer and use it in the get secret access key command. So we've typed the command out, access key -ID. Now we copy it into the buffer and paste it and give it the profile. And the return is the access key ID and the secret access key. These are useful in configuring the AWS CLI or any third-party utility that is being used to copy data to or from the device. I'd like to thank you for watching this video and hope that you found the content both interesting and useful. Thank you.